Okay, we're back. We're going to head into the crypts, and we immediately, unfortunately, have to deal with all of this. I'm going to put on our cold, and I'm going to lamp a fire. Wow. A lot of cold damage possible here. Let's go up. Go down. Wow. A lot of damage. Go up, go down. This time we took no damage. Cool. We need to take out these simulacrums. That's where the damage is really coming from. Okay, not bad. This guy can actually paralyze me. Only 5% though. And even if he gets the paralyze by himself, he's not going to be able to kill me the first time, so I'm not going to waste MR++ on him. We got Boris here. Very resistant to cold. We're going to use Brothers in Arms, get some distance with the brother, although he may go ahead and finish off Boris for me. He does not. He gets wrecked by Bolt of Cold, but we'll just use our arrows. Oh man, I'll make another brother. Boris says to your deep troll, "We will meet again." Probably not. Probably won't meet that particular deep troll again. I really like to be walking around with RC Plus all the time, but unless I want to give up this EV, it's not really an option. Okay, let's pull this up. Should be able to kill all this just fine. Very good. And we'll keep moving. Unfortunately, it is not archery, but maybe eventually we'll find that. Alright, time for Crypts 3. Pretty straightforward so far. Oh wow, we definitely want to be immune to this dude's paralysis if this thing is around. Iron Shot's a killer. Yeah, we want to be MR'd up for this thing too. Wow. That Orb of Destruction did almost 100 damage, probably closer to 85-ish. So that sucked. Wonder what the damage cap on that is. Huh. I feel like it did way more than that, oh wait, it's 90-17, okay. Jeez. That's a lot of damage. That's 9 times 20 is 180. But that's, I mean, it's actually 18, or rather 17, not 20. So how much damage is that? Let's see. Just doing some mental math here. 153, I think. That's still pretty significant. So I almost got off light. Must be the entrance to Tomb here, by the way. Okay, we're gonna lignify. We're totally immune to the torment. We're gonna use regen because this dude's coming up and we need the MR. This is pretty bad. I hope that we don't get hit by this thing. I'm trying to kill these before I get tagged. You know what? What am I doing? Let's make a friend. This is definitely the place to have a brother in arms. Should have done that from the beginning as soon as I realized I wasn't going to be able to go anywhere. Plus 0 boots of stealth, we definitely do not need those. Way too many things around. I'll make a brother in arms, I'll make another one. I got the Iron Troll, so that's cool. Let's try not to get MR/2'd. I'm gonna kill the vampire first this time. Seems to work a little better than trying to target the phantoms. Now we've used up a good chunk of piety, so we'll try to conserve that going forward. Come on. Not having a lot of luck killing this this dude. Artifact ring. Necronomicon, I can go ahead and burn this. Well, this isn't much, since we already have Arlec, and RN Plus is not terribly useful to us, but it's strictly better than a regular MR ring, so we'll wear it. Decent find. Not a big fan of these endings where there are a lot of tomb monsters. I would rather fight liches. Although I guess it's better than an ancient lich, sort of. I'm gonna make a brother in arms. There's just too much potential for torment here. Do I wanna just lignify? I don't want to be lignified next to a bunch of scorpions. Okay, we got him. I was gonna teleport if I got tormented again, or maybe Holy Word a couple of times. This is quite an extensive collection of tomb enemies. Even the guardian mummies are a bit annoying with these curses. Here's a lich. Didn't want to have to brother in arms there, but unfortunately we just don't have a great solution for killing things that are blocked by allies. I mean, we have like lightning rod, I guess, but it's not ideal. Really am tempted to go throwing from now on, just because of how good penetration is as a solution to those types of problems. Although really I think the answer is to just reset the fight when that happens. It just makes certain things more tedious. But in terms of tedium, I think you eliminate it more by going bows, because with throwing you can't tab quite as hard because you have more management to deal with, more ammunition management. If you're trying to maximize how tabbable something is, which is essentially what I'm doing, trivializing as much of the game as possible. It's kind of interesting to think about which strategy is best. Okay, check out this artifact. This has done a really good job of throwing me a lot of artifacts I don't want, or am very unenthusiastic about. However, this is kind of cool. Okay, well we'll go to the trove. We've been handed the armor we needed. So fingers crossed for Sharnga or some other bow. The chance of actually getting a wand, or excuse me, a weapon trove, pretty low. I'm just gonna drop all my scrolls just to be sure I have the room to get this stuff. Looks like it's a random collection of things. So we had potions, scrolls, amulets, and weapons. We do in fact get a longbow, but it's a +6 of venom with RC+. I'll pick it up, but I don't see myself using that. Even if I do want to walk around with RC+, I don't want to do it by sacrificing slaying and using a brand that's not great. No identify, and we're wearing faith, so I'm not prepared to swap off for this mystery amulet. We'll identify it here in a bit. I think I'm gonna... Do I want to save my enchant armor for crystal plate? I think I do. In worst case scenario, I can enchant it up later. My plate mail if I decide to stick with it. I'm just curious how enchanted that crystal plate is to begin with. By the time I can afford it, I may have a little bit more in the way of resistances to cover RF plus in the place of the plate mail, but we'll see. We will see on that. We don't even have a cloak yet, so maybe we'll find a nice scarf with resistances on it. Now, where to go? We cleared Crypt. Don't want to go to Vaults 5 yet. We'll go into Depths. We do have a nice little collection of Teleport and Blink, though, so Vaults 5 is going to be doable soon. Vaults 5 is probably doable now. I want to take out this Rakshasa first, if I can. Got a little bit of a greeting party here. Let's pull them up one by one, or two by two. Okay, this kind of sucks. Let's pull this stuff up. My MR++ faded. That's okay. We'll put it back up here in a second. Okay. A little bit surrounded here, but it's fine. We have that Gargoyle AC, so totally fine, really. Drop some wands. Disintegrate is unnecessary now. Certainly don't need the spear anymore. Oh, should use MR++ for the ogre still. Wow, we're getting wrecked. Yeah, about that. Do I want to see Blink? What is it, 45 damage? Yeah, 3d15. I'm gonna assume he can do it twice, so 90 damage, so he can one-shot me if he gets 2 attacks in a row. And he's speed 12, so it's possible. Let's do Feel of Floods. Alright, I'm gonna Blink. Man, that's silly. I'm gonna heal wounds. I'll fire. Okay, he's dead. Good. That was rough. Didn't want to take any chances with him. But we did take a small one. Oh, right, we can be... We're a gargoyle. How about that? We can be LRD'd. Somehow forgot about that point. Check out this longbow. It's freezing, we don't need it. So yeah, Hellfire is very, 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 very dangerous for a gargoyle. Because like any race with low hit points, Hellfire is terrifying. I mean, Hellfire is dangerous on anything really, even an ogre, but the less hit points you have, well, you can see where I'm going with this. I'll take out the Boggarts. No more summons. Boggarts are pretty scary in depths. I mean, they can pull any depths monster, including Caustic Strikes, so you can see why that can be really very, very, very bad. So they are a priority. Okay, we have a lot of gold, and we hear coins being counted, so why don't we magic map? I see that we've done the whole great trap thing. That's fine. We just dig it out again. Nice. Scroll of blinking. And here is the bazaar. As usual, I'm gonna check it all out, then look for gold. Well, clearly we want this scroll of acquirement. It's very cheap. We want these scrolls of enchant armor. We want teleport. We want more enchant armor. We want recharging, but let's take a quick look at everything else. Glaive of the Guard. No thanks. Check out this scarf and the scale mail. You never know when you're going to get an artifact that's just ludicrous. Okay, arm missile, that's not so bad. Okay, we'll get boxes of beasts. We'll get recharging, magic mapping, fog. Yeah, I'll just blow through my gold here. It's fine. I think that's everything. I think that's everything that we want. There's an enchant weapon, but there's no reason for us to spend money on that. Oh, we want the sack of spiders. Okay, cool. As for the acquirement, we'll get a book. It's evocations. I like to see that. And we'll just train evocations until we get it to an appreciable level. Well, until the book is done. Even if it's only for spiders later on. But, you know, we actually have a decent... We even have Scattershot, which is amazing, so... We have a good collection of things. We have 6 boxes of beasts. Might as well get as much bang for my buck as possible. Drop the Wand of Lightning. Quite a few things here. Why don't we use Lamp of Fire? Okay, that's good. Caustic Strike is gone. You know what? I have all this enchant armor. Why don't we just go ahead and use it? We're not going to be using crystal plate today. In fact, I'll go ahead and enchant up my helmet and these generic gloves, bringing our AC to pretty insane levels. Of course, that's to be expected on a gargoyle. Just tab through this stuff. We shouldn't take too much damage from this juggernaut. There we go. I see that there is another Caustic Strike. I'm gonna make a Brother in Arms. for the purposes of taking down that Lich. Maybe he'll be useful against this Caustic Strike too. Yes, he will. Cool. Man, Trog is an expert at giving me longbows I already have. Where's my speed? Or a highly enchanted longbow of velocity would be cool too. But you know, freezing is perfectly fine. As long as you have a +9 of freezing or flaming, can't complain. That's more than good enough. Velocity is pretty good, speed is ideal, but don't hold your breath for it. I mean, if you happen to find something like, well, an electrical branded one is fine, but if you find Stormbow, that's cool too. Basically the same thing. Alright, let's dig this out. Okay, turns out that the amulet's not very good. So we're going to wear this in place of the other MR Plus amulet because I'd rather have our core at all times than RN Plus, you know, for acid blasts and whatnot. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Well, this is a little locked in area. Let's try another. I'm gonna connect these up. Let's get another digging wand, since I happen to know that several are available. And there we are. Tab the rest of this stuff. Spriggans go down pretty easily. I'm going to use MR Plus for the Lich, tab him, he goes down too. We have our core up at all times, so this isn't so bad, just kill it. Although, even with our core, Caustic Strikes are no joke, so definitely slow it up a little bit when you see one of those, even on a character like this where it feels indestructible. Alright. Got some Hellion Vengeance there, one-shotting him. By Susan. What do I want to do here? Do I have my vulnerability? No, I don't. I think I'm going to use Box of Beasts just in case. And we'll just bow her to death. Okay. Caustic Strike. So I'm a little surprised even on this character that I can just tab Caustic Strikes since they're so tough, but then again I haven't had to fight an entire pack at the same time yet. Okay. That's clear. The loot's not very good, although I'm so tempted to wear the gold dragon scales. I think we're stuck with this plate armor. I mean, I've just enchanted it I've invested too much in enchanting it. If I somehow found enough enchant armor to get GDA to max, I guess I would have switched to it, but this is fine. I mean, it's encumbrance rating 23. At least the plate only has an encumbrance rating of 18, so that doesn't seem like much, but we probably have significantly more EV in this than we would in GDA, so... Especially on a Gargoyle, I would rather have some EV since my AC is already so high. Don't need that ring. This game is like obsessed with throwing RLEC at me, throwing a ludicrous amount of MR at me. It's not really giving me exactly what I want. It's like teasing me with stuff that's not quite right. But you're like giving me a ton of artifacts, just not ones that are useful. Hey, well, useful to me. Gotta watch out for that Zot trap, by the way. That's why I was surprised. Of course, literal troll opens up the passageway to put the Zot trap in range again. So we move backwards. Simulacrums could be a big deal without RC+. This is a decent amount of stuff. Now it's just the Lich. We get LCS'd once, and he goes down. Okay, I was just taking a look at my loot. Wow, this is quite a treasure vault. A little surprised at the vastness of these vaults of treasure, come to think of it. Looks like I found the Wrath of Trog. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this vault before. But I dig how much treasure is in it. It's pretty cool. Pleasant surprise to find when you're in depths and not expecting much more loot. Okay, that's Startella. We definitely don't want that. That ring's actually terrible. Okay, we'll go to depths 5. Go to the hallway to fight these things as usual. We've reached the final level. Let's just do Dex 15. Oh, right, my AC goes up because I saw my AC going up when I leveled up sometimes, and I've just solved the mystery. I'm a gargoyle, duh. That's racial AC. Now we have a little more MR now, but Liches can still paralyze me. So I'm gonna need to wear another thing of MR for Zot. But the thing is that I'm gonna if I switch to Zen, we could get paralyzed if I don't find something with another pip of MR on it. So I may need to think about this a bit. Might even have to wear that garbage chainmail that has MR++. Hopefully I find a cloak, maybe, something like that. Guess I could wear, like, Quicksilver Dragon Armor, which would kind of suck. Gonna use flames on him. Man, bows are just not really the answer here. How does Scattershot work? Does it get demissiled? I guess it doesn't get demissiled. Seems to be doing some work. Okay, that's one way to deal with it. Scattershot's great. Hey, some golden dragons. Their ice breath does a significant amount of damage, but thankfully they either didn't use it or it didn't hit. And that's depths. We found a robe, or excuse me, a cloak. It's just a +2. I'd rather have repulsion. Oops. Okay. Okay, cool. That seems to be about it. Just looking over the loot, seeing if maybe I lost or didn't notice something. But it looks like we have pretty much everything that has shown up. So the only place left to go is Vaults 5. Entomb and Abyss. I'd really like to have that RC Plus covered, so I think I'm actually gonna, well, I'm tempted to do this. We lose 5 points of EV, I think. Yeah. But we have RC Plus. Worth it. Worth it for where I'm going, because I'm going to Vaults 5. So this will be Crypts, Depths, and Vaults 5. We cleared through all that stuff pretty quickly, so. Let's take the hatch. Okay, he can't mark me. I was going to say, please don't mark me, but he actually can't. So that's cool. And we'll just go around, take this stuff down. Fairly indestructible, except for spells. Melee is just not going to do much to me. Ranged attacks are not going to do much to me. It's the spells I need to watch out for. Are we diesel? We're not quite diesel. Diesel is 46 AC, 31 EV, so well, we have enough AC to qualify for diesel, not quite enough EV. Let's walk away. Oh man, we're slow. That's bad. Well, 371% did not work. to mind control that mage, so we're going to use that, and we're going to just kill him this way. And I'm going to recharge enslavement. Oh, okay, there's a floating eye shapeshifter. Sorry about all the flashes. I noticed that I had a bad habit of not noticing floating eyes were around, and nothing can kill you more quickly than not noticing a floating eyes around, so I set the game to be extraordinarily annoying about floating eyes being on the screen. Edens can still hurt me in melee pretty decently. Whew. Use these boxes of beasts. Really useful against anything, really. Let's see if I can just enslave this dude to stop him from... Okay, third time's a charm, 71%. Alright, we don't want to go to the center. Gotten sidetracked a bit here. Pulled a little more than I wanted to. Kinda wish I had clouds. However, I do have my lamp of fire available, so why don't we just use that? Fascinatingly enough, I'm really just not taking any damage from this stuff. Okay, casting things get the priority, and it's all dead. Oops, we want to kill this guy first. Down he goes. Let's head down here. These edges are where you want to be. You don't want to be in the center. This guy's buckler is really causing me some grief here. Okay, fine. We'll just do this. Somehow that guy had like 1,000,000 shield just from a tiny buckler, and it was reflecting arrows right back at me. I'm just openly auto-exploring now. We've cleared enough of the level that we're fine. No real fear here. Okay, let's clear out the inventory a bit. I'm sure that we found a bunch of garbage. A lot of enchant armor still, but not quite enough to justify swapping off the plate mail. Keep going. Got the rune, putting us at 4 runes. As usual, we'll go for 5. want to let this guy summon. He didn't even bring anything that was scary, so it's cool. Drop box of beasts. Drop this ring. Don't need any of that. We now have 6 scrolls of enchant armor. Getting quite a stack of them at least. So I could definitely see myself buying this crystal plate. Have this stuff. I brought it into that hallway, so I would only fight one at a time. Well, ish. I was kind of fighting more than one at a time, but not really. Acid Wand's a decent way to kill things that are behind other things. I haven't really been making use of it, but it is a method. Okay. You know, we're 47 minutes in, and we're making very short work of everything, really. I think I'm going to go ahead and do Zot 1 through 4 in this video. That way the next one can focus entirely on swapping off Trog in the Abyss and then Ascending. Looks like we got everything anyway. Yeah, okay. And as all we go. I should make kill holes. Safest thing to do in here. Especially when you're using a bow, you know, kill holes become a lot more fun when you're using a bow, because if you stand on the very end of it, as long as you don't get depositioned somehow, like by the shifters in here, you can just destroy everything. If something misses, you're going to hit something behind it, so every shot's going to hit. And you don't even have to use 2 different uses of your digging to make the kill hole, because you want it to be one big line. You don't want to limit the sight range like you normally would to just one dude. Okay, let's get away from these Zot traps. Wow, this is ugly. I don't want to be near these guys. Oh boy. Oh boy. I will fog, so I can't get tormented. Could have been straight up murdered there. Yeah, we shouldn't have. You know what? What am I doing? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Zot traps are a no-go zone. Gonna walk away from this. Get the heal. Go back in and take them out. Yeah, from now on, when I find a Zot trap, we're gonna do that. Until the floor is totally clear. Otherwise, then we'll explore around it. All right, the floor is totally clear. Otherwise, because really, I'm just flirting with disaster when I fight around Zot traps. I could have been Zotted twice there. And it's not instant death, but it could be. you know, I could have been paralyzed, and one of those things chasing me could have done quite a lot of damage to me. Although I will say that paralysis is less scary for this character than most, because of how much of my AC, or how much of my defenses are wrapped up in AC. Still, losing all that EV is pretty nasty. Gonna check out this cloak. I find that cloaks in here are usually not something that you want, but sometimes they are. Let's drop this second scatter shot. Okay. Let's go up, kill this thing, go down, fight as few things at once as possible. Even though we're a totally broken longbow guy, that doesn't mean we should throw tactics out the window. Speaking of which, I'm gonna fear. Please don't slow me. You have slowed me. My worthless Cyclops did not kill it fast enough. That's okay. We'll continue on. Another short bow. Trog's been very light on the artifacts. If I do artifact and gift, only 2 artifacts, and both are really not things that we need or would ever want to use. Well, we would want to use the crossbow if we were a crossbow guy. +3 of speed is perfectly valid. Anyway, freezing in here is fun. I'm not too sad about not finding some turbo broken longbow like +12 or something, like +12 of speed or something crazy. I don't feel bad that I didn't find it because, well, first of all, bows are broken enough just on their own. Secondly, freezing slows down the draconians in here, so it's, you know, pretty sweet by itself. Take out this Moth of Wrath. Oh man. We'll go up. He could have berserked me there. I could have made a kill hole for all this stuff, but it seemed kind of pointless. It was just weak draconians for the most part. I should have, though. I should have made a kill hole. Why don't we do it now? No. I've made the situation worse for myself. That's why I'm reticent to make a kill hole, usually. Doesn't matter, man. You don't want to hellfire me next to you? Oh, let's fear. Definitely don't want to deal with a berserked golden dragon. We'll walk away from this. Heal up. I'll fear again. Kill this draconian. Remember, if you have fear at this point in the game, you might as well use it on the moths. this thing. And I don't want to fear now because they might run into the Zot trap. So I think it's fine if these things berserk because we're just going to start enslaving all the strongest ones. So that's cool. All right. Whoops. I just remembered. Trog gets butthurt if I, yeah. The Red Draconian Knight is enraged by your magic-hating god. Okay. So we can't do that. Let's dig out of here. I will go ahead and recharge the enslave. Wow, this monk is getting some work done. Really afraid of this annihilator, honestly. Let's use regen just to get the hit points back, and I'm going to heal my wounds, because I know that dude is still out there. Actually, I'm going to Phantom Mirror him. Alright. Trog, why you gotta cause me such problems? I'll acid him. We'll finish him with the bow. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. I was really concerned about the whole LCS thing. Didn't really have a very good guaranteed way out of that either. I could have blinked, I suppose. Which probably would have brought me all the way out, even if I can't control it. It's not the kind of thing I like to rely on. Wow. What just happened? I tried to use a box of beasts. Somehow I used my Feel of Floods. Oh, I hit X instead of Z. Whoops. Okay, yeah, please. Go ahead and berserk my beast. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Okay, we're not slow. Having a lot of issues in this Zot. This monk doesn't want to die. Wow. Wow. This is really bad. Even if I destroy him, I could die to this Scorcher. Let's think about this. I want to heal wounds. I want to... Jeez, I want to haste. Please don't kill me. Okay. This was poorly done. How much exactly can the Scorcher do? This is really poorly played. Okay, he's basically a Hellion. Can't fog to block this. I could fear, which would probably get him to go away. Oh man, let's not ruin the streak doing something stupid like this. Let's really think this through. I think Scattershot's the answer here. It should guaranteed kill the monk. And then unless I get lightninged and hellfired for near max damage at the same time, Like, one of them would have to do near max damage. So let's do that. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna heal wounds again. Now we're gonna dig. We're gonna fog. So we can't be hellfired. We're gonna put up regen. I'm gonna undo my horrible mistake here. Yeah, that was some very stupid, very quick play. Not so great. Can I net this guy, or is he too big? Let's look at his size. He's giant. We can't net him. We're gonna brother in arms. Let's just spam some curing. Okay, we should be fine. Yeah, there was no good reason for all that. I could have very easily not had to deal with all that crap. Alright. I wrote LOL, but I didn't actually laugh out loud. I'm a fraud. Alright. Let's check out these cloaks before we leave. Because we might find something we want. I'm hoping for MR, believe it or not. If we want to actually do this streak, and by the way, my goal is 50 wins. I decided 50 wins in a row. If I want to actually do this and succeed at it, I'm going to have to be a little more careful. I'm trying to make it as quick as possible, but that's, you know, that's at odds with careful play is the thing. So there's really no excuse for dying this deep into the game either. Usually any character has all the tools they need. Let's reset this. Has all the tools they need to survive. And if you die, it's because you did something really dumb. And I don't mean to be condescending, because the fact is that I do really dumb things all the time in this game. But yeah, it's probably because you didn't pull things back. What was I saying? Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes. Okay, let's finish out bows and fighting. But it's just like, how bad are those mistakes gonna be? And it doesn't... Maybe I'm overstating it, because the thing is, a relatively minor mistake, depending on the character that you're playing, depending on the character that you're playing, maybe it doesn't take much of a mistake to put you in the death zone. I mean, that's one of the things about dungeon crawls. It's actually rather hard to build a character that's unstoppable, like literally unstoppable. Well, it's impossible to build a character that's literally unstoppable, but it's difficult to build a character that is so powerful that you can't that is so powerful that a mistake won't put you in the danger zone in certain places in the game. like Zot, for instance. A relatively minor mistake here might get you killed or get you almost killed on a lot of characters. This Gargoyle, in particular, I mean, yeah, we're using longbows, which makes us half broken, but we still have the HP penalty. 200 may seem like a lot, but it's really not. I'd rather have an ogre and be running around with like 300 plus hit points, you know, that would be pretty cool. And then you're less likely, you know, you have more of a margin of error, I should say. Certain characters have more of a margin of error. But even that 300 hit point ogre is gonna have problems if you make the right kind of mistake. Like my mistake earlier with that big engage where I almost died. Shouldn't have let that happen. Was there was just a big pile of things that I really obviously couldn't just have that stuff to death, but I stuck around instead of walking away. And I should have walked away. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do this back to back. I'll cut the video here. But what we are going to do... we're going to go to the Zen altar. Let me think about this. Are we good to go on the game? It looks like it. Yeah, okay. So I'll do this back to back. I'm going to cut the video here and then just start recording again. But we'll, because I like to keep these around an hour. But yeah, we'll worship Zen. We'll go into the Abyss. Once all that stuff is done, we'll do Zot 5 and we'll send. So until then, I am, well, I'm not signing out, but you'll see me in the next video. Until then.